But Singapore is a country.
Getting a car is a social
statement.
When it comes to owning a car in Singapore, you shouldn't even
Nowadays,
consider it. It's not an option.
possible to be even out of your parents' house. I think their question should be, what's wrong with Singaporeans?
Welcome back. We've been talking about getting hitched in Singapore. We've been talking about how whether or not Singaporeans really need help in finding their ideal date and mate. But now we want to look at the measures taken by the government. Do we really need an SDN in Singapore? Why is it necessary, like so many things in Singapore, for the government to intervene to help us in as private a matter as finding a mate? Anybody?
Yeah, I was interviewed by a German reporter saying sometime earlier part of this year, saying I'm so intrigued by it. Singapore government is the only one that does this.
We're the only government in the world actually that has, where the government actually arranges makes dating, mating connection.
They do arrange mating.
I suppose that if the mating would be happening and people would be getting married and they would be having children, then it would not be necessary.
I think the justification is there. I think there's no question that we need more people in order to progress as a nation.
Yes.
But is it effective for the government to do it? I'll give you some statistics later. I think they actually have been quite effective. But really, do we need the government to do this for us?
And what would be the alternative if the government steps out? What would happen then?
I don't know, but I know that the government has certainly been successful. Let me get some statistics. The SDU has 25,000 current members, and about 3,600 of the members of the program married last year.
Oh.
I guess this would include not only those that got married because of the SDU, but those who got married because they would have got married anyway. But 3,600 getting married is quite an impressive figure. And since its inception, the SDU informs us that 50,000 Singaporeans have married through its membership, or at least 50,000 of its members have married. Okay, and again it begs the question on whether if there was no SDN, I beg your pardon, not SDU, if there was no SDN, would we have that rate of success? Or perhaps if we don't have that crutch, could Singaporeans on their own perhaps be more aggressive about looking for a mate,
Okay.
for a partner?
What SDN does now, it's really marketing also. Like now for this month, they are marketing in like bus stops, MRTs. So when people pass by, they'll be like
Make the first move.
they'll be like at the back of their mind, hey, perhaps beyond my working, I need that element. So it's like a subtle thing in their mind. It says, oh yeah, perhaps why not give it a try?
But how sad is that? That we need to be marketed. It's not the spontaneous, yeah, you know, Friday night, work's over, let's go out and have a drink and talk to random people. It's a, hey, work's over, Friday night, now I need to market myself, what's here. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
No, but the
you wouldn't
chance.
need it.
I'm sorry?
You wouldn't need
I
it.
wouldn't need it.
There are many others that are not quite like you.
I mean, it kind of gave me a very funny image in my mind. Like the government needs to seed naughty thoughts into our mind over the course of the day before Singaporeans actually
Excuse
do
me,
something.
dating does not have to end up in naughty things.
Yeah, why naughty thoughts? I'm like,
Abstinence, brother.
Why does one have to have a? It's like, if your dad told you, son, go find a girlfriend. I mean, all the more I would resist him. Like the only reason I'm getting a girlfriend is my dad told me to. Like seriously.
Yeah. That's why they are not like pushing aggressively, but then really like marketing subtly, so that you see you see in the MRT, you see at bus stops, and it's like, yeah, perhaps I should.
So
do something.
then again, right? Again in secondary school, I keep bringing it back to that, but
Yeah, those were your deprived years.
the
was
mother's
all our
watching, yes,
deprived
deprived,
years.
very much deprived, until now also deprived. But in any case, right? You know how we stopped focusing on sports until we opened the sports school. Then everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to excel at sports and I'm going to
Yeah,
go to
but
the
they're doing
sports
so
school.
well. The
They
sports
are,
school
exactly. So my
and
point
SOTA,
is, exactly, now drama, okay, I'm going to do really well in drama and get into SOTA. If there were a school, because we're all Singaporeans, if there were a school that graded you upon your social skills, your personality, your goodness as a person, your capability of connecting with people, you would put more emphasis in that, which is very, very sad. But then again, it's true.
Yeah.
Because the way we work is, why play soccer? I must study maths. I must do good in O levels. But now, got sports school. Okay, I do soccer. Then,
No, they're all
but
academically
it's all
strong
academically
as well.
inclined.
Yeah.
So if you're given an outlet to, I don't know, it's really sad to say that, but if you're graded on it, people will make more of an effort to be social and be, if you in the lift in the morning when you go to school or whatever, and you're in the lift with your neighbors and people ask you, where are you going? Freaking 6 a.m. Obviously I'm going to school. But
Depends on your age.
well, if you're in uniform and your neighbor's asking you where you going, like, dude, where the hell you think I'm going? Obviously it's school, no?
Depends on your age too. Some people wear uniforms for other reasons.
See, wise man said. But I mean, I just feel that if you were given more of a push, and if the emphasis was also, instead of academics and sports and drama, it's like, dude, be a good person and have a personality, have a mind of your own, have an opinion. It'll be a lot easier to socialize, no?
I find it so interesting. I live here for 35 years. I'm the eldest one, the traditional, and I have the young people talking about being pushed. He talk about being pushed. You talk about being pushed in one way.
No, she talks about pushing.
Yeah, being pushed by the parents and being pushed this way. And then you talk about being pushed in another side. And I thought that it was the other way around, that it was just, let me roll with the flow and let me become spontaneous and let me
You're
become-
South American. You're Singaporean now, but you're South American blood.
But the beautiful thing, Kenneth, is that I have seen Singapore change so much.
So there is
I mean,
hope.
I've been longer here than many of you have been born, and I have seen how this country has transformed. And I can see the struggle now of the young people and how to do these things. And that there was no role models to learn from because they weren't there, the role models, how to go about it. So now the men are struggling who to be, am I the polite, am I for real, am I to be refined and not real? And the women too.
So we do need the SDN.
Yes,
I
that's
think
how
SDN does play a big part in the sense, at least in the marketing aspect. I mean, face it, the advertisement at Basto and MRT is not cheap. Or when they when they have any promotions, right? They publish in the newspaper one full page. That's at least $10,000. So as a, I guess only with the government they can have this kind of budget to help to create awareness. Which I think is a good move. So it becomes like a norm thing. Like I have friends from Japan. They are also very open to this thing called Gokon.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a self-organized thing where I organize a gathering and you bring another single friend along.
Yeah.
So it's very open. So when I ask them, what are you going to do this weekend? Because I was in Japan, so what are you going to do this weekend? I'm going to a Gokon. To them it's very normal. I'm going to a Gokon affair. I'm going to a Gokon event. It's very norm.
It's like a party, right?
Yeah, like nothing, no stigma at, you're going to a dating or a matchmaking session.
It's like a more sedate Zukao.
Back in the day, didn't you guys have like police-like parties or something? It was called, where like the club would open in the afternoon.
Tea parties.
Oh.
Tea parties.
Not tea parties. What were they called?
it used to.
Yeah, tea parties.
Parties and
Yeah, you
Tea
should.
dances.
Well,
It's called tea dances. Yeah.
And that was like
Ruffles,
way
something.
fun, wasn't it? You don't have that now. And now you have to wait a certain number of years. You need to wait till you're 16 for an underage pass. You're 18 when you're overage.
Okay.
If you organize that earlier, it's just promoting more, mingling with
That's
people.
yeah.
I mean, aside from the twerking and shit.
So I think we're quite unanimous in saying that we Singaporeans do need the SDN.
It's helpful lah, but because they've been
good
around so
benefit.
long, if you ask me what will happen without them, I honestly I cannot picture.
So, do we need the SDN to do the work? There may be objectors, some openly and some quietly, but I think there's no question that a lot of us support the idea that what the SDN is doing is helpful for us, and it is an area where we could do with additional help. But before we end, we've got something special for you. From Champagne JSG, we're offering a date for anyone who wins a competition that we're going to announce soon. And from Complete Me, you have free attendance at one of their events, one of their dating events. All you have to do for the guys is give us your best pickup line or lines. And for the girls, please tell us the worst pickup lines that you've had. Until the next time, goodbye.